Take a second to imagine yourself dancing in your bedroom to your favorite song. Now think, where did those movements come from? Everything has to come from something. There's a good chance that those movements came from jazz dance. I have danced on and off throughout my entire life, and one of the biggest influences I've had is from jazz dance. Jazz dance has a lot of technique, a lot of different styles that are used in all other different styles of dance. Jazz dance has come a long way in America and has a huge impact on our current day-to-day dance styles. Today, I am going to inform you on the history of jazz dance. That includes where it originated from, some of the main contributors, and how we use it today. I would like to now explain to you where jazz dance came from, with some facts that were gathered from Dance Lessons Are Us from the history of jazz dance. Jazz dance originated from the African American vernacular dance of the late 1800s to the mid-1900s. Until the mid-1950s, jazz dance was often referred to as tap dance. At the time, tap dance was the most popular style, the most well-known, and it was always set to jazz music. Jazz dance was first developed with jazz music in New Orleans. The term jazz was first applied to a style of music and dance during World War I that soldiers often used. Jazz dance was eventually transformed into a more theater-based thing, such as performances on Broadway or common TV shows like talent shows. Jazz in general was a huge hit in the 1950s and still is all over the world and is still progressing day to day. Now that we've seen a little bit of where it originated from, let's see who helped make it so great. In the 20th century, many people contributed to the work of jazz dance. I'm going to focus on two of those contributors, even though there are many more that have helped make it so great today. In the 20th century, some of those people are still working today, some are deceased. The two I'm talking about today are deceased. The one that I'm going to discuss now is very popular. He's not always well known, but he's the most famous for helping make jazz what it is today. Jack Cole is considered the father of jazz and jazz technique. He was a key inspiration to many famous choreographers, and he still is today for influencing new techniques. He invented many of the dance movements that we use today, and they are also used in many other styles of dance. As stated by Teal Darkenwald in Jack Cole and Theatrical Jazz, our techniques and theater performances would be nowhere near what they are today if it wasn't for him and his bright invention of all the movements. Another great contributor to jazz dance is Bob Fosse. He created basically a new form of jazz, taking some of Cole's work and making it a brand new thing. Jazz dance was popularized by many of his works, and his works are a lot more famous than Jack Cole's, or well known. Some of Bob Fosse's famous works that we would probably know is Chicago, Cara-Brett, Damn Yankees, and The Pajama Game. However, that is not all of his works. Those are just some of the main ones. Biography co-editor's article, Bob Fosse, has excellent information on how his life led to gaining such a passion for dance and creating these works. Now that we have a good idea of where it came from and who helped make it so great, let's take a look at how we can use it today. According to Barbara Kennedy's article, Jazz Dance Styles, Techniques, and Progression, many jazz techniques and movements are added into other styles of dance every day. Some of those dance styles include modern dance, jazz dance, lyrical dance, musical theater, and so on. Jazz styles are taught in many different forms, such as you can take one movement that was brought by Cole and you can turn it into a more graceful version or a sharper version, things like that, depending on the style. Jazz dance is most commonly taught in schools and in dance companies that perform all around the world. Today, a very commonly used style of dance is hip-hop. Hip-hop originally came from jazz dance, but that's a very good example of taking movements and making them something else. Whereas hip hop really is taking movements and you just go out there, you do your own thing with them. But the styles, however, did always come from something. Some commonly used movements in jazz dance that we all use today are ball changes, pirouettes, jazz kicks, leaps, jazz runs, and many more. We see jazz dance more often than we think. For example, we see them in movies and TV shows. A movie example would be burlesque. What kind of movements are they using there? They're using jazz dance. Burlesque, however, is a great example of jazz dance because burlesque back in the 1900s, burlesque dancing is jazz dancing. And a TV show is So You Think You Can Dance. The only style of jazz dance that they use on there is modern, sometimes. A lot of partner work they do also is jazz dance. The woman in this photograph is performing a jump, and that is a form of jazz dance. In conclusion, jazz dance has become a very big part of today's society, even though most of us do not realize it. Today I have given you the broad information of where jazz dance came from, who helped make it so great, and how we use it today. I hope that this information has widened your perspectives on how you view dance and that you learn about it even more. Nothing about this came easy, but when you work hard in the end, it is all worth it.